15 years ago, the world was a very different place, and some of you may not have even been around at all. In any case, many things that happened then feel like they only happened yesterday. For anyone who doesn't remember exactly, or simply wants to indulge some of their memories, you can sit back, relax, and check out 5 things that happened 15 years ago. Let's go! Number 5. Wikipedia goes online. The online encyclopedia Wikipedia was published in January 2001, which is hard to imagine that the internet's #1 source hasn't existed for all that long. All information published on the platform is completely accessible 100% free of charge, and its intention is for further distribution so that absolutely anyone can access this large pool of knowledge. Today, Wikipedia is the largest encyclopedia in the world, and in 2016 was the #6 most visited site. The principle of the encyclopedia is very simple and always improving. Authors must submit their texts to the company, which are then checked by a peer review process. This means that there are several different authors from different fields examining each text for accuracy. Only then is it published. It is true that some incorrect information might slip through here or there, but that's because with the immense amount of authors, there's simply not enough inspectors. Anyone who feels compelled to check information about a particular topic should feel free to apply to Wikipedia. Number 4. Shrek arrives in cinemas. It feels not so long ago, but 15 years ago we got to know the charming ogre named Shrek. He lives in a fairy tale world in which he has some very recognizable friends and gets into an adventure rescuing a princess. The hero of the story is not your classic Prince Charming, but rather unpopular and ugly. Nevertheless, or perhaps because of this, we fell in love with the green monster. No surprise though that at the time Shrek was the most elaborate computer animated production ever, and it even received an Oscar in 2002. If anyone wants to watch the film again, you should try to catch all the references to other fairy tales and movies. There's the emblematic characters like Snow White, Pinocchio, Little Red Riding Hood, but the film even makes references to The Matrix, King Kong, and Godzilla. It's a real movie mashup. Number 3. Justin rocks our heads. Who do you think of when you hear the name Justin? Okay, yeah, today you probably think of Justin Bieber as number 1. However, the real Justin that accompanies the children of the 90s is the one and only Justin Timberlake. We knew him already from his time with NSYNC, but 15 years ago that was over. After the separation of the band, Timberlake began his solo career with the album Justified. The mix of R&B and hip-hop, primarily working with the Neptunes and Timbaland, henceforth left an impression on Justin's music and brought him more success than ever before. To date, Justified has sold more than 7 million copies, and its singles Cry Me a River or Rock Your Body are things we can sing right off the cuff. Meanwhile, Justin not only delights us with his music, but his acting too. For example, there's Alpha Dog and In Time. We can only hope that Justin will stay with us for another 15 years. Number 2. Apple introduces the iPod. Apple is an absolutely indispensable company, but it was 15 years ago that they landed one of the most grandiose product launches ever. Yeah, I can hear you already saying that MP3 players already existed, but the iPod changed everything. Everyone in the world needed to have that stylish little rectangle which could store 5 gigabytes. At the time, that was an impressive amount of data, and it certainly raised the heart rate of every music lover out there. The first iPod worked exclusively with Apple computers and still had no dock connector. Of course, as Apple upgraded with later versions, it came along with a larger storage capacity. Also, on the first iPod there was a mechanical scroll wheel that allowed you to navigate through lists, adjust volume, and change songs. This was later replaced by a touchscreen. Since its launch, several versions have come around and the Californian pioneers were often inspired by competition. Incidentally, if you find one of the original devices in a box, don't throw it away, because in some instances these are rare and traded by collectors for up to €1,000. And finally, number 1. Harry Potter waves his wand. Sunshine, daisies, buttermellow, turn this stupid fat rat yellow. The most popular wizard of all time graced movie screens for the first time a little over 15 years ago. The fantastic journey that the young Harry Potter began with his friends still interests us today, and has even accompanied many along their way to adulthood. So to speak, we've grown up with Harry, have gone through challenges with him, and he guided us through ever darker times. But then everything changed. After the great success of the books, finally we could see Harry Potter in the movies. How exciting! What would the characters look like? Will it be just as great as the book? Some people maybe were a bit disappointed, but ultimately the films were really popular. and even managed to win over those who were really tied to the original books. Daniel Radcliffe and his fellow actors have been with us now for an entire generation, and they're still having fun and working today. I hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane. If you did, go ahead and check out another video here, or subscribe. Until next time, see ya!